この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for ReZero Season 2, Episode 4. And I'm really excited for this one. This is one of the first, really interestingly jarring kind of, it's not really a twist, but an unexpected circumstance, thrown for a loop, an intrigue. I'm really intrigued. We're going to be diving back into Subaru's human life as a real human being on this here Earth planet, which is very interesting because he's been such a blank slate in that regard from the outset of the story. We've truly only seen one scene of Subaru in the human world before he got isekai'd. We can make some assumptions about how this character has been formed. We've had a lot of evidence on his attachment styles, on his masking behaviors, on his, honestly, strong moral compass as well, his desire to do something right, and his sort of over-the-top gooberiness, which I think we're going to find out may have been passed down from his father, because he seems like a goober. But for the most part, Subaru's history, Subaru's past before he gets transferred to this world, the one in the show, has been a mystery. There were some other things that are pretty interesting about the circumstance. We met echidna, which I did some research on because I'm like, echidnas are like a mammal, right? They're like a fuzzy thing. Well, they're a spiky fuzzy thing that's similar to hedgehogs, but not a hedgehog, and is actually one of the few remaining species of egg-laying mammals. They're the variants of echidnas, and then they're platypi, and that's all that lays eggs. And they have spines, and they lay eggs, and they're super weird and kind of cute. And also, their babies are called, I have to look this up to make sure that it's right. I believe that their babies are called puggles, which is so cute, which is just, So why the hell is this character named Echidna? I'm gonna go on a limb and say that it's because the author thought it was a cool name. If there's actually something really interesting about, the spininess, and maybe in the eyelashes and stuff, we could feel maybe there's something there. I don't really know. The spininess or the egg laying or the almost extinctness, maybe that would make sense, but otherwise it's just a cool name as far as I'm concerned. We met Echidna, and a lot of you seem to be big fans of Echidna, and I can't knock it. I mean, she's like a grown-up, more adultish, but also still goobery with the pure Gap Moe version of Amelia. So, yeah, pretty good. And she gave us the special dispensation to enter the trial ourselves, despite not being of mixed blood. Together with Amelia, who promised to do it for the people of the village and everybody that she wanted to get home so that hopefully they could be friends, which was really cute. Amelia went into the trial. When things went wrong, Subaru followed up. And now he has been teleported back in time and space. I assume this is on the order of a vision. This is a vision sort of thing. It's not really real, but it's something that Echidna or the space or whatever manifests as Subaru's particular ordeal or trial. It's also extremely narratively useful to fill out a portion of the story that we don't really have a mechanism to fill out. How else are we going to get any sort of viewpoint into Subaru's past life, except as we just have to author fiat it to be well, I guess we're going to show us a backstory flashback, and then Subaru awakes from a dream. Sure, that would work too, but this works great. This is super cool. A godlike entity. I don't know what witches are. I don't know if they're gods. People talked about this in the comments, and I don't fucking know either. Good point. A godlike entity sends you back and shows you a vision Ebenezer Scrooge of the Christmas past, and you come away with some lessons about it. I don't know if Subaru's going to have a challenge to overcome, or that he has to learn about himself, or if this is just set dressing and exploration, and I'm kind of okay no matter which direction it goes. This feels like a really good opportunity to do some character building, and I feel like it'll probably be a single solo episode because I think there will probably be some stuff to talk about in this one about the nature of family dynamics and his life and stuff, if that makes sense. And then I think it'll probably be a sort of a snap back to reality, and then watching Amelia overcome her trial, or maybe helping her overcome her trial, or whatever. I gotta throw out some other random questions. There might be more of these as we go. The wording, the specific phrasing, trial, ordeal. Betelgeuse used that too. Ordeal in particular. Something about Amelia and being prepared for it or whatnot. Does the ordeal that we're currently undergoing, because that seemed like a bad thing. When I heard that at the first point, my impression was that like the ordeal was one of the stepping stones between Amelia being proven worthy to be the successor or like vessel for Bad Witch. Yeah? For Satella. Is that what's going on here? Is it the same kind of an idea? I don't know, but I wanted to throw that out there because it's worth keeping in mind. Also, we've been unable to summon Puck, and I'm not sure why that's been. It's a little bit spooky. And also, when we rushed into the chamber, into the big temple space, there was frost on all the walls, very similar to what happened when Puck was unleashed previously, with the potential that Amelia is like down for the count or like taken out of consciousness by this event. It seems possible to me that that might be happening here as well. Which makes, if it is, then that makes the OVAs like really good and important for setting that up as a possibility. Either way, it's going to be something we have to keep in mind for the future regardless. That's my whole spiel here at the beginning. I'm going to do a scribble. It's just going to be a doorway. It's just going to be a big doorway because that's like the symbol of right now, I think. I could try to do like Subaru's dad or like family ties or something like that, but big doorway is really the symbol for right now, so I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go super sketchy. It just feels right. It's kind of fuzzy or hazy or something. I don't know. That feels right. Like a scale or maybe something like it. Mm-hmm. I need to get some books on architecture or like do some study or something. I don't know. I need to be better at it. Okay, that feels good to me. Ish. I actually like this to be smoother. Yeah, and maybe for the darkness to be more complete. Only question marks at the end of this tunnel. Just darkness. Lit by little lanterns, or maybe oil lamps, or maybe candles. Okay, I gotta go get rid of this graphite and then we'll get going. Let's get rocking and rolling. I've got Season 2, Episode 4 of ReZero up and ready to go. I've got my hot tea going as well. And I'm ready to find out a little bit about Subaru's past life. Kind of funny the way that works. Let's go ahead and watch it. Episode up, 0 seconds, 2 versions, picture-in-picture in the description, timer on YouTube, beep timer to count down, early access on the Patreon, also Mushoku Tensei. Now we're watching both of these interrelated shows right back to back with each other, which is going to be really interesting. I don't know how it's going to go. Probably, some ReZero people are going to hate me for this. Probably it won't look favorable toward ReZero. Just in terms of visual quality and production. That's the hard part. Mushoku's a really pretty show, and ReZero is not that pretty comparatively. Time frame wise, just also stylistic tendencies wise, it's not super beautiful. There are some lovely moments, especially when we do like lights and stuff, and we try to make things romancy. Like the moment at the bridge in the first couple of episodes was really pretty. It can do it. It can definitely do it. But by and large, the overall bar is like not suck you into the world level. But that's okay. I'm just mentioning that we're watching both of them at the same time, and I think it's really cool and interesting. Okay, beep timer. And here we are. So that's why he trains every day. Fucking old man strength. Oh, he got him! He got him! They're just trading the same leg bar back and forth. What the fuck? Okay, so we are going to meet the whole dynamic. Whose voice is that? Whose voice is that? Also, whose voice is that? But no, like her voice, though. Nande? Ah! She has played a lot of evil people. Wait, this is your high effort? No, that's not the answer. You don't. You don't get somebody over that by forcing. Okay, okay, okay. Everybody's passing it around. This is hilarious. This is stupid. Oh, yeah, that is weird. She's out of her gourd. Super cute. Got a cat. Why did you make all the... Boba tea. Lentils. Beans. Peanuts. Yeah, Dad. He's already there. We're not getting along very well. So nobody wants the peas. It's got so many peas in it. Oh, there he goes. No, son of a bitch. Oh, they ate it all. All right, good job, guys. Mom didn't eat fucking any of it, did she? I don't want to raise you to... This is wild. This is a wild ride. I'm getting overwhelmed by the wildness of this ride. So, how much of his memories does he... None, right? I'm sleeping until noon and having a panic attack and pain. Also, white-haired girls everywhere. Damn, it's so early. Oh, 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 the relief, the relief. Oh, wow. He lives in an upward spiraling anxiety hell. So part of his dad's whole persona is trying to fake him out of it. Will we switch to serious? Oh, whoa, okay. Well, I mean, all white-haired babes. Okay, Dad's not oblivious, but he is very gung-ho. Yeah, everything has this memory feel to it. It's good. This is cool. A likable fella. We can't even really see the beauty of the world around us, can we? It's like just stuck there. We're just stuck there. He looks just like him. Come on, man. Shouldn't you be in school? Bwam! All these shoulds. So his dad is really a guy about town. Everybody knows him and is friends with him. Hmm. It's an okay perspective, but it's limited. I see what his dad is trying to do. Oh my god. Son of a bitch. Dad of a bastard. Yeah, that's a layer to it. Oh. There's no escape from it if it's inside you. Keeps coming back to that. Maybe he thinks it'll be a motivating element. Whoa. Memories. This is a space that doesn't exist. It's all just evoked, isn't it? It's a dream. Like I'm failing you guys. Hmm. It's true. But there's something deeper going on. We keep repeating that. Green Peas Day! Yeah, when life gives you green peas, make pilaf. Hmm. This is such a different dynamic from like the Rudy dynamic. Bad guy eyes, but the sweetest voice. Bad guy voice too. Mom's such a bad guy. I wonder what exactly is triggering that. That's the lap set scene. Whoa. Hi, Amelia. A fuzzy vision. This is the trial. The trial is to find her. That's why he keeps asking the question, yeah? It's whoever set up the trial, Echidna probably prompting him to internally search for those answers, yeah? Bam! Wow. And clarity. Why does my heart ache so? What am I missing? We can see the flowers now. The petals are falling and they're a part of our world. I do have a girl I'm into, for sure. Yeah. Actually, three, but, you know, whatever. Fuck! Is that half an episode? What the fuck are we gonna do for the rest of the fucking episode? Holy shit, that was an entire thing. That was the whole thing. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Isn't that always the case? Hmm. Imposter. Imposter syndrome, yeah. Gifted. Ooh. You weren't ever putting in the work to try to improve though. Wow. Maybe you should get tested for ADHD, kiddo. Maybe you should get tested for ADHD, kiddo. Shit. Okay. Force, pressure. And self-push pressure. Whoa. This is great. Big pranks. We keep flashing back to that medal, trying to earn that win again. Y'all need me, I'm special. You need me, I'm special. How is this gonna flip? They gonna reject him? Oh, they keep falling out. That's what it is. There were less and less and less. And there's nobody. Reminds me of the Haruhi speech. Disconnect from here. Whoa, there you go. Don't raise expectations. How'd you do that? Oh. Got it, you overdid it. Cool. And then got rejected and smashed down. Just don't go. Alright. Yeah. 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 Easier and easier. It's not even a real fear that you're afraid of. And you wanted them to snap you out of it. You wanted to be pushed into place and fixed, noticed, recognized. Hmm. And instead, you were so deeply supportive. So the whole story can be reframed as an internal one, with these characters as inventions of his own mind. Clever. Clever, clever. Alright, what do you got, Dad? I have no idea what you're talking about, son. Pat, pat, pat. Oi! Yo! That wasn't a headbutt, you just kicked me! You're gonna give him a concussion! Oh, Hugo! Yeah, for real, you gotta really break some boundaries. Yeah! Oh, I know some people. I fucking know some people. I was waiting for you to figure it out on your own, and now you seem to have, so we good. That's why he kept asking, partly. Yeah, you got two, dude. You're rolling in it. Rolling in it. Who even is that? I mean, I know who that is, but who is that? How do they all know him? Why is he so special? Hmm. You're yourself. You're not me. I wish I could have had that sort of a conversation with my dad. Maybe one day. Ow. I know, man. I fucking know it, man. That means you're stuck in another world. That's a new mission that you might not be able to accomplish, my guy. Oh, but it's so sweet. This hurts me a lot. I'm actually going to be incapable of registering some of this. Just going to let you know. Some of this is far too close to me. Mom time? Radio calisthenics. Give it your best, bud. Ow. So we go from forced to be his son to not his son, stand on my own, to willing embrace of the father as a piece of the identity, but starting. Oh, was that? What was that? Who was that? What was that? Who was that? Was that just a poster? It might have just been a poster. I felt like there was a person standing there. Has it been 3 months? Oh, okay. You mean in general? Because he's going and figuring it out. Yes. Ooh, these glows of pink light. What? What? Eat some mayonnaise? How about a bathtub full of it? Oh, she knows. Mom's always noticed. What? So silly. Nah. Oh, because he'll be coming in late. No, 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 no. You gotta go. Yeah, 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 yeah. Even if you're late, you gotta overcome that threshold. That's so good. That's so good. The excuses keep coming. He. Oh. Dude, that makes it way worse. That word's way worse. Sure. So I'll walk with each parent. Girls. Ain't that the truth? Look, it was complicated. Shot through the heart, and I'm to blame. Moms fucking seeing through people. Good ones, too. Then why'd you give me peas, you... Whoa! That seems... Well, of course you've seen... What a weird ditz. Are you a Lucky Star character? She's a Lucky Star character, right? Or Kaon, something like that. She could be Moogie. I don't think she's Moogie. Sometimes parents can't. It's too close. Fuck, this is a lot. This is a lot. This is a lot in one episode. Holy shit. Mmm. Mmm. So it's not about deserving, but later I'd make myself worthy and eventually anyway. It's totally broken logically, but it's great. It's so gung-ho. Oh, Mom, you can't say that. It brings back that fear of not living up. Fuck. So you can be a total failure, don't worry. Aww. I don't like the quota. You should have dispensed with the whole quota idea in the first place. Okay, it worked. It worked. That's all that matters. All that mattered is that, is that it got into his head. That could have fucked up. That could have gone horribly. Jesus, Mom. Walking a fine line here. I would want 100% in your own way, but that's good too. This is good too. Good aim, but you're going to have to become yourself. At some point. Okay, so we split ways from both parents. What's next? We still got some time. Oh, we don't have that much time. We have a little bit. It's 5 minutes. Whoa, this is a long episode. This is a 29-minute episode. I can see why. Is this Kimi no Nawa? Is this 30 centimeters per second? Trains. Boundaries. That's super cute. Damn. Moms. What are you gonna do? Good moms be good. I'm jealous. Good mom. Damn, there's a lot here that a lot of kids need to hear from their parents and never do. That's going to be a really important piece of motivation if you're going through hell. Snap, snap. The day he left, no response. Dead eyes, but always watching. Always caring. Oh. Oh! He actually gets to respond this time. There we go. I will return. So now another promise is made. Nobody's in there. Dream's gonna fall apart now. Right? It's stepping through this threshold is the whole thing. Nobody's... Yes! Oh, we Monogatari now, motherfucker! I've seen this before. You made it through the challenges faster than I expected, she says. Fuck! Oh, yeah! What did it do for you? Man, it's like therapy is what it did for me. Fuck! Oh my... God! Holy shit balls. Whoop, pow. Have we seen this? We haven't seen this before, have we? I thought it was gonna be the same scene with the whoosh of all the little flutterbys. But this is different, yeah. My heart trembles, not my brain. Oh my goodness gracious. That was that's too much for me to actually bite off and chew. Sorry, folks. I'll do my best. But there are parts of that I know that I actually can't see. It's one of those things. Ooh. Shadow straight down the center for Echidna. That's pretty neat. I wonder what that dark side is. Oh, that's so fucking cool. I'm very pleased and impressed by this episode. I said it a couple of times, but there's too much here for me to necessarily bite off and chew, but I am going to give it my best shot. The fact of the matter is that I've got unresolved conflicts with both of my parents, and so, like, just in... a lot of the things that happen here are things that I might wish for and be desirous of, but haven't necessarily experienced in fullness, and that is emotionally very, very difficult to look at, honestly. It's really beautiful, too, and in an amazing way, this is one of the powerful things about media. It's so strange that it works. By experiencing someone else, even a fictional character's forms of closure or interaction, we can get some degree of that for ourselves, insofar as the situations are related or the emotions are related. And I feel that, but it hurts and it's in flux. And like, maybe by next week I'll have settled into this, but that was more than I was expecting to have thrown at me really fast. So I'm a little bit rocked. Man, genuine, sincere, high quality parenting is something that's tough. It hasn't come up for me on this channel for a while, and I'm more distant from it. So there's opportunity here to talk in a different way than we have before, but whether it's been Sangatsu no Lion, where a character who's disconnected from real family in a number of ways finds a found family in Akari and Momo and the other characters of that household, and experiences some necessary nurturing and support. Or Natsume Yujincho, where Natsume is outcast for being odd or off or awkward, and finds himself in a similarly found family with some people who really provide for him in a meaningful way and are also genuinely caring about his feelings and personal state. There are a couple of other shows, but those stand out to me the most poignantly. These symbols, these patterns of like demonstrating how an interaction with parental units might go, or could go in a good world, in a dream even, perhaps, are so hard to watch because they're so starkly different from my real lived experience, and also so close in so many ways, and also so close in so many ways to what I'd like, what would be very nice to have, but, well, what I don't know if I can ever have, you know? I expect that there will be some comments urging me to try to reach out to my parents, and that's fair. I have. I have. I'm in contact with my mom, and we can be moderately cordial. My dad ignores me at this point. I can't contact him. I've tried, and it's very sad. I know he's alive. I went and checked. I had to, but he also hasn't talked to me and won't. So, I'm in my own set of situations. And I've been in situations that are much like Subaru's form of withdrawal, although I've got my own flavors to them, certainly. I'll try to share what I can if I feel like it's relevant as we go through this. But at first, I think I'm just trying to unload a little bit here, and I'm just trying to recombobulate. Subaru's feeling of panic, that heart hurting that he gets, is so interesting in this context, because I vibe with it. I don't get physical chest pain panic attacks. I don't. I experienced some chest pain a little while ago, but that was because I rearranged my entire rib cage in an unfortunate direction. Some people mentioned that they thought that might have been a panic disorder or something like it, and I swear to you, it was not. My physical ribs and cartilage at the front were actually out of place. It was terrible. Couldn't breathe. Physical problem, not a psychological problem. I don't usually get that kind of tight chest panic attack situation, but I do understand what that feels like a little bit. I have had panic attacks a couple times, especially on psychedelics. It gets really bad, and then you're in a full dream sequence and nothing is real, and it's really bad. So I get it. But what's fascinating to me is the way that sort of real world response is now woven into Subaru's in-world clutched heart response. It's so cool that there's this thing. It's like when Subaru tries to, and I don't know exactly if we can line up when he feels the pain and stuff in this world, but it's anytime that his anxiety starts kicking up. But in the fantasy world, it's like anytime he tries to tell people his truth, anytime he tries to really take off the mask and tell people what's really going on with him, the witch thing, then the pain sets in. And so there's this allegorical connection between the two. Like, that pain in our current world is like an induced anxiety attack, like an induced panic disorder that prevents him from doing the thing that would be really helpful in a particular circumstance. Of course, it's more than that. It's supernatural. It's literally going to kill him, or literally going to kill somebody he's talking to if that ends up being the right circumstance. But still, such a fascinating piece of symbology. I wonder if we'll play off of it in the future. It's really quite interesting. Over the course of this feels like a load, like a reload for Subaru, like getting prepped. And it scares me because this feels like the kind of psychological preparation that would be necessary for some real torment and trauma. That idea of like, it doesn't matter what happens as long as the end ends up well, is exactly the kind of thing that you would need if you're going to actively embrace torment over and over and over and over and over and over again in order to seek out a particular end game. The same way that many time travel-y or multi-looping possibility checking things end up going is like, yeah, 1,000 loops might be what it takes to make some shit happen, you know? So Whew, spooky, deeply emotional, powerfully resonant for me in particular, and probably for most of us. Again, I talked about this yesterday in Mushoku, but there's a universalizability to this story. Very unlikely that any of us have a father who's quite like this guy. We don't even know what his whole deal is, why people are so impressed and friendly toward him. He's clearly got a reputation, though. He's clearly got something going on with him. So few of us have a father who's exactly like this, but he fits enough archetypal parent things to be really, really powerful. I think one of those that's the most striking is this trying to walk the line, trying to be helpful and supportive toward the kid, but also not to shut them down or be too harsh, but also in a way that supportiveness it ends up just enabling the situation the kid is in, but in some ways that is what the kid might need because they do need to figure it out themselves and probably can't be forced into it. And even though Subaru says that was what he was aiming for, was like, I need to be bad a little bit so that my parents force me into being good again. I can get that like stability back, right? Like some solidity about where I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to do. That's how I'm taking it, at least. And there's more to it too. This is complicated and multi-layered and multifaceted, and I'm not going to be able to read it completely, for sure. Especially, it's so weird, I'm going to be able to read best the things that are closest to me, and I'm also not going to be able to see the things in this that are closest to me. So strange. It's one of those beautiful things. I'll be able to see them because they're close to my experience if I've overcome them, if I've worked through and done the work on that piece. But if I haven't done the work on that piece, I might not be able to even see it. I might not even be able to recognize it. So I'll say at the outset, before we get too much deeper into the episode, please, please, please tell me about all your different impressions about this episode and how it makes you feel, how it relates to your own dynamics and your own feelings and your own state of being and existence and parental relationships and all that jazz. Because it's going to be, those are some of our unique things. We're all different, but we all do share some things. All of us have two biological parents, whether they're dead or alive, still have them. Actually, that's not true. There are some super weird cases, but I'll bet 99.99% of you have two biological parents, one male, one female, and that's just the nature of the thing. And probably 90+% of you have some degree of weird conflict and inability to communicate effectively with those parents, which is so strange because those are the people who are closest to you, but they're also people who have deep responsibilities toward you, and you feel like you have deep responsibilities toward them, and you've built up a set of behaviors and interactions over the entirety of your life since you were a little mewling babe. So there's gonna be stuff that you can't communicate with them. So I think there's a relatability to all of this. Some of these moments and feelings of sitting there, the parent is there, and both of you know that there's a thing that you need to say, and neither of you know how the fuck you're gonna address it. That's just tough. I got no solutions. That's just tough. That's just real. That's just, it's pretty good. Pretty good and cool writing. So, let's go from the outset and answer questions as I have them and talk about things as I have them. If I come to some overall, cohesive conclusions by the end of this, that's fine. If I don't, that's fine too. I'm not going to force myself to, figure out this episode. There's a lot here. I'm just going to point out the things that I relate to and wax on about them if I feel like I need to. Before that, though, I really need to know his mom's voice actress. I really need to know. It just needs to click into my mind. She's played so many evil villainesses and Ojo-samas and cute but ditzy people. God, I really need to know. I wonder if she's somebody in Dragon Maid. I don't know. I need to find out. Natsuki Naoko. Mal Ryoka Yuzuki. Alright, who you? What you do? She's Satsuki Kiryuin! Which is all of those things all mashed together. She's also Shizuka Hiratsuka? Which is... That's in Seishun. Yeah, okay. Carnival Phantasm. Ino Yamanaka in Naruto. Someone in Utoware Mono. Boku no Akito. Okay. Oh, so much stuff. Tsubame and Natsume Yujincho. Funny to bring that up earlier. Castra in Death Parade. She's been so many people. But not exactly the kind of characters that I super expected. I must be recognizing her as Kiryuin Satsuki. That just seems like it's the voice of hers that I've heard the most frequently. But I am a little bit surprised that there aren't more like moms and evil Ojo-samas. Feels like those would be the type here. Okay, let me find out the dad just in case it surprises me. Kosuke Toriumi. Oh, plays Tanya Degurachev. Oh, the male voice. Got it. Mista in JoJo's. And a whole bunch of other people and a whole bunch of other stuff that doesn't really like jump out at me as really interesting. Okay, cool. I didn't feel like I recognized him super well, so fine. Good. Peas. The whole episode is full of really goofy and fun gags, and I really like this one. I also really like the angle choices. They're kind of insane all the way throughout this scene. It's fun and goofy, I think. And the instantly infuriating back and forth banter. It's not good to be picky about your food. This might be a good chance to get you over that. Why today, first off? But more importantly, like, what? So you're gonna get me over that by making a whole thing of peas? And then it just spirals out of control. It turns out nobody at the family likes peas. His mom is actually really picky about her eating habits and forces that onto everybody else. The dad will back her up, but can't actually back her up because he doesn't want to eat the peas either. But eventually they all force it because they have to eat the pilaf and it's like a family thing. It's such a wild expression of the way that their love and family works. Super interesting. I do wonder where the Western style foods and stuff come from. We haven't indicated that one of the family members is like non-Japanese or anything. I think this is a cool breakfast. Toast with jam and miso soup. Gets you a lot of variety. It's pretty cool. But her answers make no sense. And gosh, good golly. Good golly. What insanity. So, from a happy, bantery, fun kitchen table experience, with the parents watching him carefully and playing a bit of a role too, and pushing him, but softly, in different ways. Not pushing him on the thing that really matters, but pushing little things like the peas. It seems like chaos at first. That's the impression of the episode. It seems like these are inept parents just doing the chaos thing. But once we step back and we watch a little bit further, we understand that these are highly concerned parents trying not to show how concerned they are. Trying not to behave in a way that upsets their child even more. They're trying to do a really good job, but they're also clearly a little bit out of their depth. A little bit uncertain what to do. You can tell that they've had conversations about this in the background, like many times over these couple of months. So they do make this a scenario. We'll race to school! Because they're just trying to ease him into it, but they know that he won't go. And the whole tone changes. Stop trying to put this that way. I'm sleeping until noon, and then it hits. Wham! Fear. Wham! Panic. Where does it come from? Well, he goes back into his room, and now that he's alone, the mask comes off. And the panic sets in. Why? Why do I suddenly feel so weird? Because the thing is coming. The thing you know is coming. The time frame. This is really cool. I've never seen this expressed effectively. And it's something that I deal with on a regular basis. Deadlines for things. Thresholds for things. There's something so relieving. Well, addicting, I would say, is actually the answer. There's something so relieving about waiting until you can no longer do a thing. Until it's gone, until it's taken away from you. Because if there's this choice, and you know that you need to make the choice, like you really should, and you know, it, like, not even somebody else is putting this shit on you, you've put this shit on yourself. It's a thing that you believe that you should do. You know you should do it. You kind of want to do it. But you're reluctant, resistant to doing it. And you know that if you don't do it by 8 a.m., for example, it won't get done. You'll be late. And then you can feel safe the rest of the day because the choice has become out of your hands. You've already made it. But you can't make the choice, right? You can't make the choice while the choice is makeable. You have to wait and let it tick by. So what actually happens to you when you're doing that? And I'm speaking from experience, whether it's a homework deadline or going to a class or something else. And I've done this exact thing in college with going to classes in particular. Waiting and waiting, knowing that it's like a 10-minute walk across campus to get to the class. Class is at 1. It's 12:45. If I don't walk in the next 5 minutes, I can't get there in time. And then, I'll be there late and the teacher will. And your brain will play weird tricks on you. Or you'll play tricks on yourself. Okay, I'm getting ready to go. Ooh, what's this notification? Let me just for a second. Oh, it's 101. Oh, I can't go. I guess I'll go smoke weed. And then I definitely can't go. Yeah. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll solve it. But then what happens to you emotionally when that's happening? We've got this huge buildup of tension and fear. Hormonally too, yeah? Big wash. Got a little bit of a fight or flight because you're getting yourself psychologically prepped to go and do something or not run away from it, right? And you're probably not doing this for the very first time, so you've probably got an instilled response as well and a bit of a fear response, yeah? So you're a little bit afraid of the thing, and you're a little bit afraid of doing the thing, and you're a little bit afraid of not doing the thing. And you might be chastising yourself in both directions, being like, man, I really have to do the thing. If I don't do the thing, I'm an idiot. I'm a loser and a failure. It's not like I want to confirm that about myself. Oh, wait, you probably do want to confirm that about yourself. You want to prove to yourself that you are an idiot, loser, failure. Yeah? Okay. So you wait, and that build happens. All those emotions and hormones build, and then you cross the moment threshold, and instead of getting the relief of actually doing the thing, which is what you're structured to kind of do, you get the relief of not doing the thing. And then you probably reward yourself with the things you actually want to do, right? So you get in this high tension situation around the threshold, activation threshold of actually doing the thing. Not actually going and doing the thing itself, just starting, just moving toward it. That's the fear point. It's not even the thing, it's the starting the thing. It's the fear point. It's a reluctance. Okay. You build up all this emotional energy toward it, essentially a trauma response preemptively, and then relief, and then you reward yourself by going back to bed or having a bunch of food or going and playing video games, and you light up your dopamine system. So what have you trained? Run away from your fears. Do it every time. It'll go great for you, and then you'll be rewarded, right? And also, get addicted to that feeling of getting really tense around the fear, because that's a high valence emotion. It's got a lot of power to it. That tension and that pain and that anxiety and that fear, you actually like it. Now, and you hate it, right? You hate it, but your body's like, that's spicy. That's the fun stuff. That's high valence, especially if you're living in a room, an all room, all dark, video games and stuff, nothing else going on. That's the spicy stuff. That's the highlight of your fucking day, neurologically, is that you got scared of stuff, scared of your own shadow, of going and doing stuff. That's tippity top tier. Let's do it again tomorrow. That's now a part of our hormone cycle. That's expected. Every 8 a.m., we're going to be up. We're going to be freaking the fuck out. And then once 8 a.m. crosses by, we're going to have relief and release, and everything will be fine. And we'll do it again tomorrow. And we'll do it again tomorrow. And it'll extend too. It'll extend to other behaviors that you feel reluctant toward, not just the one that you've set in, because you've got this pattern now, right? So anything that you've got that you feel a little bit nervous about, maybe just put it off until it's no longer in your hands. That's an effective strategy that's worked every morning for the last 3 months. It might work with going and asking that girl out. It might work with going to and trying to get a job. It might work with literally anything that you're going to try to do. Patterns. Fucked, but brilliantly executed here. Really, truly. This moment, as we stare down the clock, and it ticks, and it ticks, and it ticks, and then it goes silent. We're safe. I don't have to do the thing anymore. I don't have to force myself to change. I can just live in my inertia. Oh, thank goodness. And then, it still hurts. Why does it still hurt? Bam! Why does it still hurt? Usually it's gone by then. He's a little bit of a different person now. He's overcome some of these thresholds in the other world, right? That's my take. My take is that psychologically Subaru isn't the person who was able to stay in those 3 months anymore. He's been doing things. And as soon as you learn that you can overcome that threshold, that nagging in the back of your brain that's like, you actually really should go. Like, this isn't a joke part. This isn't a fuck around. This isn't just a physiological response or whatever. This isn't the high valence emotion speaking to you. You know what you're doing. You know what you can do. You've been through worse. Cut it out. Let's go. That normally calms it down. Why isn't it calmed down? But he doesn't get the time to really feel it through because his dad literally moonwalks in and then asks if it's okay if he comes in. We banter about it, but what's his dad doing here? He's still looking out for his kid, right? His kid just stormed out of the breakfast table and headed into his room to sleep until noon. He's looking out for him. Trying to, at least. And then he pushes him to go do something else. Fine. Not pushing you to go to school itself, but let's go have a talk. There's something about the fuzziness of these scenes that's really cool to me. I mentioned it a couple times during, but it feels like we can't see it. Feels like we can't see it. I was just listening to a podcast with Dr. Mike Israetel, who's a big bodybuilder and hypertrophy coach type guy on the internet. It was him with Dr. Mike, the psychologist guy. So it's Dr. Mike and Dr. Mike. But he was talking about his experience on high doses of anabolic steroids and how he just can't enjoy the world. He just can't enjoy it. That he's got a beautiful pond and like a park that's near him and he walks by it every day and he knows... he was saying, I know that I like looking at it. I know that I find joy in it. I know that it's beautiful. But when I walk by it every day and I'm on anabolics, is all I feel. I can't see it. I can't feel it. I know that it's there, but that's a memory to me. It's not an experience. It's not an existence. That's how this feels. It's like all these symbols of beauty and spring and seishun and a lovely world and a beautiful day and a pretty experience and a good time. They're lost on us. They're like fuzzy memories that don't... They're there, and you know that they're there, but you can't really feel them. If you've ever been depressed, you know exactly what this feels like. You know exactly what it feels like. And maybe you just learned that you're depressed because I just pointed it out to you, because that's the feeling. That feeling of knowing that there's beauty there, but somehow there's a filter between you and it. Wham! There it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. In a lot of ways, it's a perception thing. You know, you go to a depressed person, you're like, can't you see all the beauty in the world? And they're like, no. What? It's just dark and scary. And they're bad things. And then you show them a pretty scene, like flowers and flower petals, and they'll be like, yeah, okay. It's kind of sad that all the petals are falling. Oh, God, fuck. What have I done? This is terrible. This is pretty interesting. Kenichi knows everybody in town. I really do wonder what his deal is. Knows everyone knows him, and cares about him, and is interested in him. So Subaru has this not living up sort of thing going on, you know? Not worthy. Can't match up to his father's legacy. I vibe big. My dad's a super creative, like... kind of incredibly organized person. He doesn't have quite as much ADHD as I do, which is nice for him. He's got plenty of the tism, though. Plenty and more. So I feel this. I feel absolutely this living up to the father sort of situation. I'm sure that many of you do, too. It's not uncommon. Even if your father isn't like a totally spectacular human being, and mine is, which is... it sure is a thing. Even if they aren't a totally spectacular thing, just living up to a grown-up is hard. It's just hard. And here we see that it's more than that. His dad's a pretty special guy, and people sort of do expect something from him because of it. My son, my pride and joy. Ow, right? Like... it's so interesting how a statement that should be totally, absolutely positive can be so wounding. This is my son in whom I have pride and joy, my pride and joy. And the son goes, proud of what, Dad? Joyous about what? I suck. Why are you lying to this old man? Looks so much like you. No, he doesn't. Actually, he does. They look identical. They're exactly the same. Just the eyes are a little bit different. The evil eyes, I suppose. And then, hey, what are you doing with your dad out at this hour? Isn't it Monday? Panic. Reminded of it. Oh, shit, what have I done? Well, don't worry about it. Some other time. His dad is capable of doing all the cordiality, all of the social interactions with casual ease. He's a well-adjusted, well-socialized human being. Super is a teenager. There's a big difference. There's a big difference. It's okay to be a teenager. And then there's this line. You have nothing to apologize for. It's up to him to deal with it himself now. Sometimes the feelings aren't caused by somebody else. Like, yeah, the old man evoked those feelings in him by saying the thing, but this is an internal struggle for Subaru. It's a him problem. His dad knows it. And that's the line. That's the line that he walks. He's like trying not to take on the burden of a Subaru problem as a Kenichi problem, right? His dad is competent and capable and probably has the means of solving this by force if he wanted to. Or if it were a similar problem in his life, he'd be able to quickly solve it. But he knows that that's not how you solve something for a child. They have to learn. There's just a line here. How much do you let your child flounder? How much do you let them go through this kind of alone? How much alone do they need? And then, kind of crucially, I'd say, as a third part that is just not expressed in the show at all, at what point do you seek professional help and guidance? Because the answer is 1 month in. 1 month in at the latest. At the latest. Whether you're actually getting the kid in there for the counseling or you're just talking to a professional and speaking to them for 1 session, 2 sessions about what might be going on and theorizing a little bit, see if they want to bring the kid in. You can also do it low contact and be a little bit sneakier about it. Yeah, I think that's the move. And I'll double down on that and I'll say what is demonstrated to us are 2 great parents doing a really great job and trying their best, and it does work out by the end of this sequence. But even great parents have failings, and we see their failings here. They're not able to right this ship rapidly, and they do seem to be sort of just waiting for it to fix itself, and that waiting can just keep going. But also, most people aren't great parents. This is a bit of a shock to the system because almost everybody seems to think that they're going to be a great parent, and nobody is. Like, nobody. It's the hardest thing that a human being can do is try to raise another human. I can't imagine a more difficult, complicated thing. The hardest thing. The idea that you will somehow, for some reason, just be good at it because you're special? Stupid. Absolutely ridiculous. Talk to a professional. Still, his parents are doing great. They're doing a really great job, I think. Still, professional assistance, y'all. For real. It's the move. Tasty, ice-cold cola packed with my love. They're not quite smothering. Packed with my love, because he shook it, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. They're not quite smothering. They're really good at walking the line. It's cute. That's cute. Man, you really aren't feeling well. And he's there. He's there to support him if he's really in trouble. I'd be the same at home anyway. Yeah. Doesn't solve it. Not if it's in here. And then there's this face. That's a face that's cool to see. I know it sucks, but it's cool to see, right? That's a real concern. It's like, oh shit, what do I do here? Professional help. Professional help. No Dr. Google neither. What do I do here? Then he does what he can. He keeps changing that subject to something fun, to something interesting. But there's also an ulterior motive. And it's unclear to me how much this is dream sequency. Like, is Echidna forcing this? What's going on here? Because that seems like it's the nature of the trial to some extent, is to like recognize his feelings for Amelia and how important they are as an anchor for him. But it also, I think his dad believes that if he were to find something like that, it would be a motivating force in his life. Be a light at the end of a tunnel, yeah? I drew this yesterday for Mushoku Tensei. And that it fits here too, right? I think it fits here too. Where's the light at the end of the tunnel? It's her. May have been for Kenichi too. Subaru. Wisps and memories. Something calling to him from beyond. Come on, just ask me the real question. I know it's disrespectful to you and Mom. I feel even worse about myself. You seem to have reasons for it. And even if you don't, I'll support you anyway. It's pretty amazing. I think we had a conversation about unconditional love, and I think this is the kind of unconditional love that people argued for, in favor of. This kind of agape or perfectly altruistic familial love, or something like it, that kind of unconditional support. Yeah, it's really powerful. I'll agree. The willingness to, at least verbally, write this off because it's not the most important thing in the world. But at the same time, what is the most important thing in the world is ensuring that Subaru doesn't get stuck. Whether it's school or something else doesn't matter that much. I think his father seems to realize that. He seems like a well-adjusted enough person that he knows that high school isn't the be-all, end-all of reality, and you can actually do well if you don't finish it, and it'll be fine. Also, that his kid is pretty smart and is going to be okay. But, man. But yeah, I think this is good. That kind of support is exactly what you want or need from a parental unit in a situation like this. School, I don't think, is everything. Why? Why are you addressing me today? It's not even special. But it is special. It's a dream, yeah? It's so interesting. But you did seem a little bit better. After all, you've found something, haven't you? Nothing about me has changed. That's how I want it. And that's how I'll wham. I don't want to change. And then the panic. He needs to change. He needs to. It's not really true. Wham. The memories. The fuzzy vision. The fuzzy vision becomes unfuzzy, becomes real. Why do you always save me? And now we can see. And now we're here. But don't worry me so much. Oh yeah, and I do have a girl. And so it'll be okay. Lovely. And then we follow into some real introspection. I wanted to make you two take action. It wasn't self-flagellation, it was tempting you to punish me, to push me in a direction that I needed to. I felt like I deserved it, yeah? To call me unbelievably small and petty and self-righteous. All the things that I believe about myself, whether you believe them about me or not, I wanted them proven. I wanted you to make me give up. This whole time I've been skating. This story is relatable probably to many. The first portion of it I definitely relate to. The skating through things. And then the falling off of that as well. Likely, now that I look back, likely as ADHD manifested in me. Because I was still able to skate through high school for the most part, but once I got toward college, my ability to organize myself and actually get myself to do the work that was necessary, that I wanted to do, that I needed to do, that go to the classes that I actually wanted to do, fully fell apart. Combo with depression and all sorts of other things, partly spurred by the fact that I couldn't do all the things that I wanted to do, but definitely executive dysfunction out the wazoo for me. For Subaru, it's unclear. Maybe it's just big fish, small pond, felt really special until he didn't anymore. Maybe it's that other people outpaced him in terms of their work and their capacity to put effort into things, and he was just skating by. It's unclear. But he internalized this, you're definitely his kid, and what that means and what he has to live up to. He internalized this. I have to meet this bar, and if I don't meet this bar, my identity is gone. My whole identity is being good enough to be recognizably Kenichi's son. And if I'm not, well then, what am I? I'm not whatever people expect of me, so I'll be a class clown. I'll make people laugh. I'll interact more. I'll blow off school and I'll lead the pack. I'll go do the wilder and wilder things, but the other kids fall away from him. His journey is, it's selfish, yeah. And it's self-centered, yeah. There's a certain energy to that rebelliousness and that vibe. There's a certain energy to it that will pull people in, a gravitation that will pull people in. All you got to do is look at any high school classroom, and you'll find class clowns who are big socially. We've got little big groups of people who are almost sycophantic toward them because they wish that they could be as wild and rule flouting and silly and funny and charismatic as they could be. But how long does that last? It can be a useful strategy all the way through the world, but it's limiting. For Subaru, it's destructive. Yeah. At some point, I wasn't the best, and so it got smaller and smaller. He keeps looking off to the side, and that side of him is gone. That ability to focus is gone, too. I mean, the potential that Subaru is undiagnosed and has some level of learning disability is serious. But also that nobody really noticed this could prevent it before it happened. Working my hardest seems stupid, yeah, when everything got taken away. And then he starts dismissing it all. It's not even interesting. It's not like I care. It's not like I want to be good at stuff. But of course he wants to be good at stuff. So I started making everyone laugh. Well, it didn't take much effort because it was easy. It was what came naturally to you. You're definitely his kid. It escalated and escalated. I wanted them to think that they couldn't have this much fun if they weren't with me. I needed to be needed to have an effect. And they trimmed down one and one and one. Eventually he trips and falls. And he's alone. There's no one with him. This is dope. This is dope. As far as like an investigation of a character's internal world through visuals, this is really cool. I'm not putting it on the same shelf, okay? But I'm reminded somewhat of the scenes from End of Evangelion, of Shinji's past and history and loneliness, and those are far more symbolic and I think much richer. But in the same vein, we've got this specific internal world story that's deeply relatable, at least emotionally, to many of us. And I think it's expressed and portrayed and conveyed really well. What is this scene of watching his parents fade away in all these situations? That was when I realized that there was nothing special about me at all. We get this wide, broad view. I don't have this power to pull people toward me. I'm not that interesting. And now I haven't spent the last years working to become better, working to become stronger, so there's nothing here at all. I'm empty. Not deserving of that praise, not deserving of being followed, not deserving of being needed or wanted. So we look around and we see his father everywhere. And then they vanish. And this face is rather familiar. Painful. It reminds me again, well, it's a little bit of an ego death. Reminds me again of the scene from Haruhi, where Haruhi Suzumiya talks about being taken to a baseball stadium by her father and recognizing that there are this many people in this stadium and I can see them all and it's an unfathomable sea of people. And that is such a tiny, 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 tiny percentage fraction of the actual number of people in Japan, let alone the number of people in the world, that it means that I'm just a face in that huge crowd. And the truth is that all of my experience, all of my hopes and loves and dreams and thoughts and great inventions and wild fantasies are all as small as me. That's ego death. That's like, oh, oh fuck. What even is the point then? You gotta build that up from nowhere, and Subaru doesn't have somewhere to build it up from. So instead, he shrinks down and tries not to be avoided. If I'm just one of the crowd, then I'll act like it. I don't want to stand out. I don't want to be followed. I don't want any of this. It's a self-rejection. It's like, I guess this is what I deserve, so I'll act like it. At least that's how I see it. So I tried not to stand out. Tried to avoid relationships. Well, no. Failed at making friends in high school. Goofed it up. Too silly, too over the top. And then that rejection. And then, hey, you know what? I guess I just don't want to. I'll just stay. And then inertia sinks in and it gets worse and worse. So I wanted you to get mad. I wanted you to force me. I wanted you to push me. I wanted you to say to me all the things that I thought I deserved. But he's learned a new lesson now. Giving up is easy. But no, it doesn't suit you. Why does it cause you so much pain? Because we suffer by our reluctances. Why does it cause you trauma every time you think about going and doing the thing? Because you're scared that you won't. Because you're scared that you'll get more stuck here. Because you know that it's not right. You know that it doesn't fit. So from the love of another, he starts over. Axe kick, fucking headbutt, stupid bullshit. Who would ditch their own kid just because he retreated into his shell? Plenty of parents, unfortunately. Plenty of parents, unfortunately. I speak from experience, unfortunately. We make out these parents to be, well, they're really great. They're really great. Their struggle is real. Like, this is such a difficult situation, and they're handling it so much better than most would. They're doing so well, and their intentions are so damn good. It's really lovely. Not perfect, but I'm jealous. I'm deeply jealous. I did find a girl that I like. And another one who loves me, rolling in it! And I'm just Natsuki Subaru. It's part of why he has to be in another world. His father isn't there yet. No expectations. No past. A fresh start. And I'm really, really jealous of this. This was my fault for not realizing that you thought so highly of your dad. Sorry I was such a high bar for you to live up to. I don't really want to admit that either. I don't either, but I would kill to have my father say something like that to me. Because it is a constant source, or has always been a constant source of tension between us. He expects me to be as good or better than him at the things that he's best at. I'm really good at a bunch of things that he is not good at and can't see and doesn't care about. It's a weird bar. But just to have it recognized would be really powerful for me. I don't know how much catharsis I can get from this. But it is, well, it's emotionally powerful. It's definitely charged for me. And this outcome of like, all you gotta do is take your time making it up to us. It's really sweet. It's really sweet. I wish that I'd gotten this kind of grace extended as well. This idea of like, as long as it works out in the end, it'll be okay. Of course, it's harder than that because Subaru realizes that he might not ever be back here. Yeah. I can't. Because I'm gone already. So sorry. That's deeply sad, but he embraces him anyway. even though he doesn't understand. So we split it up. The mask goes back on, but it's less a mask now, isn't it? It's more melded into his face. It's more like he's grown into it. Like he's overcome it. Less that it's fallen off, more that he's become more like the mask that he was trying to wear. Yeah? Do you know what I mean? Like the mask is a lie, but it's a lie that he's seeking. It's a lie that he wishes he was. That lie of stability and strength and being able to be chipper in any environment and having a positive outlook, it's like, it's a lie, but it's a desired lie. It's what Subaru wants to be. So the thing about masks is, well, you can become them. You wear them long enough and they stop being a mask. They can. Bits and pieces at least. As long as you can recognize and start to incorporate. That's what this feels like here. Yeah, Subaru's doing the same behavior, right? It's the same physical action. It's the same behavior, but it's not faking it. It's not like trying to convince somebody of something that's not there. It's real. And on the flip side, the Gambate is just like, fuck. So good. So, oh, it's just a figurine. Okay, I was wondering what that was. It's like full person sized, right? So it like goes by and it wigged me out. School and ready. I love how accents start like really coming in. The purple lights are really in there and stuff like that. I don't know what the fuck the world or mayonnaise conversation is. I don't like this. Are you sure? Why not put it off till tomorrow? But she is just trying to protect him. I do love that he's ready to do it anyway, right? It's not just overcoming his own excuses, it's overcoming the excuse. If the time ticks past this time, then I can't go in. Can't go in. Well, if you go in and it's past the time, then you've sort of deflated that excuse for yourself, yeah? Yeah. I used to do something like this too. I would have a day where I wasn't feeling very good. Wasn't feeling great. Especially in the morning, because, you know, it's the morning and you're not feeling great, you're not like awake. And I would kind of come to the half conclusion that I wasn't going to record or do work that day. I'd half come to the conclusion. And then what I would do is I'd go out and I'd smoke weed, because that takes the idea or the possibility out of my hands. Now I'm high. I don't want to record myself while I'm high. It'll make for a lower quality video. Guess my day's free then. Right? But it's like, the decision that I made wasn't the decision to not work. The decision that I made was like, well, maybe I'll work later, but what I'll do now is I'll go and I'll smoke a bowl. Oh wait, now I can't work. Look, I solved the problem. Last year I deflated that for myself by just recording some videos while I was blazed as fuck. There's some Mushoku Tensei videos. I think some Cyberpunk Edgerunner videos as well. And at the end of this, I was like, I think that actually went fine. I think that went well. So it just can't be an excuse for me, which kind of sucks. But at the same time, you can totally deflate that excuse by just going and doing it past the excuse. It's too late. I can't go into the gym today. Okay, well, go in anyway and see what happens. I haven't had food. I can't go for a run. Okay, we'll go anyway, see what happens. Maybe you'll be able to, and then you don't have that excuse anymore, motherfucker. Screwed. You're screwed. It can be really good, I think, to actively go through and find your excuses and try to dispel them. Like, what is it that you use to prevent yourself from going and doing the thing that you were supposed to do? You know? It's like, oh, I'm so tired, I won't even be able to accomplish anything today. What have you tried? Maybe you would. And then you get to the end of the day and you're like, fuck, I got so much done today because I just buckled down and forced myself. And it's weird being in the weird sleepy state in between actually gets me more productive in a strange way. Fuck, I guess I can't use that as an excuse anymore. Shit. It's so good. So great. Don't ruin it, Mom. Very cute. I'm not really following you. It's fine. But these two walks with parents, they're important. They're important mirrors. Given up on trying to be just like your father, thank God. And maybe most importantly, I've been watching carefully. Parents always do. So don't ever think that you're totally alone. His mom's a goober, just an absolute weirdo, but can see right through him and really is there for him. It's powerful. Am I living up to his expectations? Again, I think I would prefer if we just dispensed with the expectations idea itself, but I like this as a way to co-opt his own logic, because he's using logic to justify his broken emotions. And it's broken logic, right? It's like, I don't live up to my dad 100%. That's broken. So the logic that she uses is, well, you're not 100% your dad, so stop. And I'm a goober, so it's okay if you are too. But then the most important thing is that you can aim, the way I took it was, you can aim for being like us. So this part, half as cool as your dad and half just your just Subaru is cool. You can do your best in your own way, and then you can want to be like your mom and dad as you become Subaru. It's fine to aim for your parents. It's fine to aim for idols, but stop comparing yourself with them, because the person you're actually going to become isn't them. It's you. It's you. And as long as you've aimed in good directions that feel right to you, it doesn't matter whether you meet their bar, because you're going to be a different mishmash of a person anyway. So, truly, in our 20 centimeters per second vibe, we have a big, emotional, yelly separation of characters across the train crossing. Aww. And a deep, stated, explicit love and care for each other that, again, I'm jealous of. Some of these are lines that I think every human who's watching this should take note of and be ready to pull out on your children if you have them. We didn't have you because we wanted you to do something for us. We had you because we wanted to do something for you. Can you imagine how many parental-child relationships could be totally saved by that attitude? Damn. You can cry all you want as long as you smile when everything is done. It will be fine. Incredibly beautiful. Lots that doesn't completely track yet or make perfect sense yet, but snap. Wham. Iterashai. All was there, wishing him goodbye. And so he gets to close that loop a little bit. Something he never got to say before he left that one night. I don't know how I figured that. It's just the empty school. It's like, oh, we're gonna collapse this dream now. Wham. Totally Araragi. Insane. So what did it do for you? What have you learned? What are you going to bring back? And how will it apply to the challenge that comes after? I don't know, folks. I don't know at all. But I gotta say, this was the most emotionally poignant episode of ReZero so far, and that is saying something. We've had a couple of that have been really deep. But for getting me to actually relate to Subaru and invest in him a little bit, this was much needed, I think. I think this was much needed, and I'm very pleased to have seen it. So, what a cool piece of storytelling. That excites me immensely for what is to come, because we've stepped into this like mishmashed reality, super allegorical state. We've got entities that are controlling and affecting the world beyond death, and challenges and tests about becoming and self-actualization and self-understanding and self-awareness that seem to be all mishmashed together. That's a pretty fascinating tangled web we've woven now. I wonder how it'll go from here. I'm sure you do too, but we will have to wait until next time to find out. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of ReZero. That was a long one. That was a lot of discussion. It was worth it, absolutely. Like, how could it not be? That was so dense and interesting. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week for more, or early if you want to check it out a little bit early via the Patreon. It's linked in the description. See you there. Much love. Peace.